ونستعينه ونستغفره ونؤمن به ونتوكل عليه ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلله فلا هادي له ونشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له ونشهد أن سيدنا وسندنا وحبيبنا وحبيب ربنا وطبيبنا وطبيب قلوبنا محمدا عبده ورسوله أرسله بالحق بشيرا ونذيرا وداعيا إلى الله بإذنه وسراجا منيرا أما بعد فأعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم سبحان الذي أسرى بعبده ليلا من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى الذي باركنا حوله لنريه من آياتنا إنه هو السميع البصير صدق الله مولانا العظيم وصدق رسوله النبي الكريم ونحن على ذلك لمن الشاهدين والشاكرين والحمد لله رب العالمين. My most respected elders and brothers and friends in Islam, Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. All praise is indeed due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who is the most kind, most loving, most compassionate, most caring towards you and I. And complete blessings upon Muhammadur Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It is nothing but a favor and blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala that has allowed you and I to once again gather in this beautiful place, which is the house of Allah. There can never be on the face of this earth a better place than the house of Allah. You can have the biggest mansion, your entire life earning. You build a mansion for yourself and you live inside and you sleep. But wallahi, the sukoon that you want, that we all looking for, the peace, you won't get it. Because Allah has kept that sukoon and that peace in the house of Allah. You can be the worst of all the people, but when you come to the house of Allah, you will have some connection with Allah. Because this is the house of who? Allah. If I invite you to my house, who would you have the most connection with? With the people with you, or someone else, or myself? Especially when you come to my house. So when we are in the house of Allah, we should have that firm belief that I came to build and to connect my connection with my Allah. Then when you have this mindset, and then you leave the masjid after the salah, wallahi, you will go with a very peaceful mind. peaceful mind. The sukoon and the comfort you will get nowhere else. Because Allah did not keep sukoon and peace inside money. He didn't. You will hear billionaires, millionaires, but suicide. Why? Because the peace that we are looking for, the peace that we are working for day and night, Allah did not keep it inside the mansion. Allah did not keep it inside the wealth. But Allah kept it in His deen, in the houses of Allah. So when we have all our tension and worries and all the difficulties and whatnot, and in this dunya is just full of it. The person who has the most money, you might think, oh, he's living in comfort. He has no worries in life. Believe me, he has more worries than yourself. He has more worries than yourself. Why? If I have right now with me, I have $10,000 right now. I don't have it, so don't try to rob me. If I just now look at me, he has the money now. In South Africa, I was surprised that one person, normally you get robbed a lot in that country. And the Muslims over there, mashallah, they are loaded, they are rich, mashallah. They are very expert in business. So one person got robbed, they normally stop your car, they rob you. When they robbed him, they found 1 million rands with him in the car. Can you imagine how much he has? Can you imagine how much he has? So now, if I have $10,000 in my pocket, will I be more worried when I walk in the street, especially at night time? Or a beggar who sleeps in the street with no worries, no concern? Who will be more worried? You might think, but you're so loaded, you should have peace and support. The same way, the more you have, the more tension and worries you have, because you need to protect that wealth. You need to look after it. You need to look after. If I have a small house, let me give you a better example, because we all have cars, nobody walks here. If I have for example, I have a Honda. I have a Honda. But if you, I'm sure a lot of you have a BMW or you have a Mercedes, your maintenance is higher or mine? But who has more comfort, me or you? When you drive, obviously, you can say driving a BMW, that feeling is different. But you got to pay for it more too. When something gets messed up, you got to pay more. Body parts are much more, sometimes 10 times more. But mine isn't cheap. Mine isn't cheap. Again, going back to the point, we have a lot of worries in life. We have a lot of difficulties in life. But Allah kept solutions. Don't think that it's only problems, but there are solutions as well. We need to see where Allah kept our solution. Where is the solution? In the house of Allah. You come here and you feel that sukoon. Why I started off like this? Because I'm trying to draw your mind to a point that I have today to share with you. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, when he did not tell the people, he did not announce that he was the Nabi of Allah. He was the Prophet of Allah. He didn't announce yet. In the entire city, every single individual knows Rasulullah as the most. If they needed to keep something, they will say, where is Muhammad? Where is Muhammad? Keep your money by him, safe. You will get it exactly the way you left it. They have some family issues, there's some fights and arguments. Who's going to fix this problem? Where is Muhammad? Where is Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam? But the moment he said, I am the Rasul of Allah, I am the Prophet of Allah, I am the Messenger of Allah, everyone turned away. Everyone turned away, even his own family members. Not only turned away, but they did not leave him alone. They tried their best to cause every single possible ways, anything they could have done, they done to him. Every problems. Can you imagine that if you had some message, and you know that if you deliver that message, that you know that whole entire city, the whole entire community will be after you. You wouldn't do it. It will keep you inside. That was Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He knew the danger. The moment he says it, he knew that most of the people will deny him. But he knew the value of their prophethood. He needed to do his work. He needed to convey his message. So he done everything possible. The Rasul of Allah stoned so much that he was bleeding so much that his shoes were full of blood. Can you imagine? If someone does that to us, if someone does that to us or our family members, forget about being nice to him, you will finish his whole entire family. But when the angels came to him, Ya Rasulullah, just command us, just say yes. We will take the 2 mountains that is around Mecca, we will crush these people. Crush these people, the whole entire city. This is the Rasul of Allah. Then Rasulullah says, what? If I say yes to this, and you destroy and you kill the whole entire city, who will I go and give my message to? Who will I give my message to? Because I was not sent to take revenge. I was not sent to take revenge. Think of ourselves. When we face something, what reaction we have? Whereas we claim that I am the follower of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. No, that was not the teaching. Learn to forgive. Learn to forgive. If you look at the life of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, you will see forgiveness and forgiveness and forgiveness. Wallahi, let me give you one message. If we just bring this one quality of forgiveness in our community, wallahi, we won't have any enemies. Any enemies. But today in this era, we have a major issue. We don't know how to forgive. We don't know how to forgive. If someone does 1, we do 2. If someone says 1, we do 5. But the teaching of Rasulullah, forgive for the sake of Allah. On Yawm al-Qiyamah, when you and I, we need help, Allah will help us. Rasulullah will help us. Why? He will say that you followed my teaching. You forgave people, even though if you wanted, you could have taken revenge. But you forgive in this world, I forgive you today. Allah will say, I forgive you today. Say Ameen. Now, going to the main point. What is this Mi'raaj? Just one point. Because if you want to speak about it, I think last year, I believe we had like a long, from Maghrib to Isha, I think about 1.5 or 2 hour program. You need a long time. But just 1 or 2 points I want to share with you. What is this Mi'raaj about? Every year we hear about it, and do we take something? Do we take some lesson? Every story Allah mentions in the Quran, there is some lesson for us to take. But we don't take lesson. What we learn from this Mi'raaj? When Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam was facing all this, he knew that even his own family members were against him. There was no support, there was no help, but very few. Then Allah knows that this is my Habib sallallahu alaihi wasallam. This is my beloved. There is nobody more beloved than who? Than Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the most dear and near to Allah. The most dear and near. Nobody can be closer to Allah than Sallallahu. So if you want to get Allah, who do you need to build friendship with? We don't understand this today. We think that, well, I can do this and that, I will, on the Yawm al-Qiyamah I will get some help. And some people, they have more ideas from shaitan. Why connect yourself to Rasulullah when you can connect yourself with Allah directly? But you're missing the point. We have an easy route. We have an easy way. Waze gives you easy way out. You want to take, I know the way, I know how to come to Bronx, it's fine. But you go, you find traffic. And then you're stuck there for 2 hours. You say, I don't want to listen to Waze. But Waze will give you no traffic way, faster way. So we need to build our connection with who? Rasulullah. Now, when he was faced with so many difficulties, and everyone in the whole Makkah, everyone in the whole city was against him. Now Allah says, I need to call my beloved. I need to see him. I need to see him. I need to speak to him. I need to speak to him so that he feels good that there is someone for him, and that is Allah. That is Allah. Imagine that if Allah calls you to see you. What else do you need? What else do you need? So Allah knew that if my Habib sees me, if he speaks to me, all those difficulties, he will forget about it. He will forget about it. That was my point. When we have so much problems in life, outside, when you come to the house of Allah, come with this mindset that I will find my solution, my sukoon in the house of Allah. When you come with that mindset, you will get there. Because Allah sees with what mindset you came to the house of Allah. Some people, like you and I, they come and they get nothing. They come last and they leave first. You get that, right? They come last but they leave first. But some people, they come first and they leave. You are very blessed. You are very blessed. That means that's a good sign that Allah wants to see you more. Allah wants to see you more. You can never be closer. You can never be closer to Allah than in salah, in sujood, But we today, we don't find sukoon and peace in sujood, in sajda. We don't find. We just bang our head upside down and finish namaz and go. I'm busy. Because time is money. Time is what? Money. But you think, because you think that peace is behind money, whereas peace is not behind money. Peace is not behind money. So Allah calls his Habib. Allah calls his Habib sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And we know the whole incident, we heard over. That's why I didn't go deep into the whole entire story, because we heard over and over. But what lessons we can take? One more lesson I would like to say before time finishes, especially for the youth, because I see it's full of youth. And I know most of you youth because I spend a lot of time with you. It is extremely important for us to understand. I will just take one point from you. When Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, every time he went to a sky, he went to first heaven, second and third and fourth and fifth. When he went, then the prophet, each heaven had one prophet to receive Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But seventh heaven, you have to listen to this carefully. There's a point here to understand. Seventh heaven, when he went, he saw that there was no receiver. He saw there was no receiver. So he was thinking, what happened? What happened? There's nobody there. Then when he was looking around, he seen one person leaning against Baytul Ma'mur. Right above Kaaba is what? Baytul Ma'mur. Just like we have the Kaaba. The Kaaba for the angels is what? Baytul Ma'mur. They make tawaf around that. They make tawaf around that. So he's seen one person just leaning. Sometimes you come to the masjid, you're just leaning and you're relaxing. So he was leaning and relaxing, I guess Baytul Ma'mur. So now, there is a point here that the ulama and scholars took out for youngsters to understand especially. Take this home with you today. Take this home with you today. Every heaven our Prophet went, there was a receiver. But in the seventh heaven, there was no receiver. Allah wants to show us a point here. We know that in rank-wise, in position-wise, Rasulullah is much higher, much higher than that. There is nobody higher than Rasulullah. He is the highest. Sallallahu alayhi wasallam. But the lesson here is, in every heaven he went, there was a receiver. But in the seventh heaven, Allah made it such that he had to go and meet Ibrahim alayhi salam. He had to go and meet Ibrahim. What's the point here? We know that our father is who? Who, if you look at age-wise, who's more senior? Rasulullah or? Yes. In age-wise, he's more senior. But in a rank and position-wise, who's higher? Who's much higher? There is no comparison. You cannot compare with Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. What is the lesson for us to take? Especially youngsters today, understand this and take this with you and keep this with your entire life. When we start getting our educations, most of our parents, they grew up in Bangladesh, Pakistan, India, whichever country. They're not so educated people. Now when we came to America and our father and our mother, they spend dollars after dollars, time after time. Now when we start getting our education and we become a doctor and we earn so much money, million and million, then we start looking down upon our father and mother. They're nothing. They're nothing. They don't even know. Sometimes we have this attitude. I have this complaint so many times. The child tells the father, you don't know nothing, leave me alone. You don't know anything. What do you know about the world? What do you know about the world? You didn't even study properly. You don't know how to read and write. We say that, right? But wallahi, take this with you. This statement is extremely dangerous. It can destroy your hereafter. Just one statement, Allah can become angry with you. Why? No matter how high you go in life, no matter how high we go in life, never ever forget that my father, my mother, they are always above me. Allah uses the word oof. In English, you say, sometimes you say, just leave me alone. Just leave me alone. Allah says, don't even say that. Forget saying bad words. Forget saying bad words. Don't even say oof. Don't even say that. We need to keep our mother and father above us, because Allah kept our paradise under them. If they can leave this world in such a way that your parents are happy with you, your Jannah is ready for you. Your Jannah is ready for you. Don't ever think that if you disobey your parents, then paradise is for you. No, because Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam says that if your parents are not happy with you, me, Allah, I am not happy with you. If your parents are happy with you, Allah is happy with you. This is a lesson that we should take. We're facing this problem, especially in this era, in this country. Never ever leave your parents. Till they leave this world, treat them just like how they treated رَبِّ رَحَمْهُمَا كَمَا رَبَّيَانِي. Just like when you were a baby, they took care of you day by day. Take care of them. Don't forget them. And then the next problem, and inshallah we'll finish. Please forgive me, I always go over time. The next advice I want to share with you. Another next step problem we get is when we youngsters, we get married. Like I got married in October, alhamdulillah. The next problem is when we have a new person coming in the house, which is our wife. Then we love our wife. Allah says to love your wife. It's haqq. But it doesn't mean who says that to love your wife you need to hate your mother. Nobody says that. Who says to give comfort to your mother you need to kick your mother? To give comfort to your wife you need to kick your mother out? How many countries we find that mother and father, their sons, 5, 6, they have 5, 6 children, doctors, engineers, but they are at a, they call it old age, I think homes. They're crying, shelters. Can you imagine what era we're living in? What answer would we have for Allah? Your mother and father, they can also live there too. They will cry. But when they die, you have to face something. And lastly, don't ever forget, always whenever shaitan puts this idea that forget your parents, they're nothing, your wife is everything. No, give haqq to both. They both have their rights. If you know how to do equally, they both have their rights. Think like this, my time is coming as well. One day Allah will also put me in that situation. Yes. If you think like that, shaitan cannot fool you. Shaitan cannot fool you. The wife and the husband, they both have to face that time when you will be old and your children will do the same thing to you. They will kick you out. They'll say that you did the same thing to our grandparents. So why you feel guilty now? In Arabic it says kama tadinu tudan. Kama tadinu, what comes around, or I think what goes around comes around, something like that. Yes. So don't think they're gonna get away. Before hereafter, you will get it in this world. You will get in this world. You will have to face it. So you destroy your world and you destroy your hereafter. We should take this lesson that we need to value our parents. From Mi'raaj, we took our 2 points. Try to take back, especially youngsters, take this point with you. Never ever put your parents down. Always keep them above you. Allah will give you respect in this world and in the hereafter. Your paradise, your comfort will be, you will feel paradise in this world. You might earn less, but in that less, Allah will give you peace and sukoon. InshaAllah. Ameen.
RATV USA
চ্যানেলটিকে সাবস্ক্রাইব করুন এবং নতুন ভিডিও আপডেট নোটিফিকেশন পাওয়ার জন্য বেল বাটনে চাপুন।